Good evening and thank you for joining us. Ahead of Remembrance Day tomorrow, the Royal Canadian Slovak Legion has been holding ceremonies for residents unable to attend public services. That includes today at the Chartwell Retirement Home, which became a meaningful day to honor and remember those who served. Emma Chilton has this story.
The Slovak Legion held a Remembrance Day ceremony for the residents of Chartwell Retirement Home. Kim Trechler, member of the Slovak Legion, says that they've been holding these mini Remembrance Day ceremonies for various locations since 2016, and the ceremonies are very well received in the community. She also says that it's not only important for the elderly, but also the youth to remember why we have Remembrance Day.
For us to bring this mini Remembrance Day ceremony to them, it makes them feel like it's part of their lives. It is part of their lives. It's important for not only our elderly, but our young too, to remember why Remembrance Day has happened and why it is still happening. It's not a day off, it's a day to remember.
Marjorie Armstrong and Jane Somerton, residents of Chartwell, share emotional memories from wartime. Marjorie recalls her sister's suffering and the heartache of her brother-in-law never returning. Jane Somerton remembers her time in the Netherlands, witnessing countless horrors. She also recalls being rescued by Canadian soldiers, a moment for which she will forever be grateful.
The service was very emotional. It was good. It was,
Yep.
And we have to remember all the people that sacrificed.
Lest we forget.
Lest we forget. We must never forget.
He was too young, but he lied about his age.
Bob Barnwell and his wife Barbara, Chartwell residents. Bob remembers when his brother served in the war and shared his difficult memories.
He saw 38 ships sunk while he was crossing, protecting the convoys. He made 38 trips. They lost 38 ships, I said.
After reflecting on both joyful and difficult memories of the war, Barbara and Bob Barnwell expressed how much it meant to them to have the Remembrance Day ceremony held at their retirement home.
Mrs. Harrington, Germans have surrendered. And the two of them, those two women danced around the kitchen. And I'm 8 years old and I'm looking at them. And all of a sudden the pressure cooker blew up all over the ceiling. So it was an exciting end to that war for us. That's our experience. Mine was happy. Bob's not so much. It means a lot to me.
Yes, the same thing. It means a lot to me.
Emma Chilton, TBT News.
There's also a number of opportunities for anyone looking to take part in Remembrance Day ceremonies tomorrow in Thunder Bay. That, of course, includes the service at Fort William Gardens. That is usually a busy spot, though, with organizers recommending you show up well before the 10:40 a.m. service. There's also the annual ceremony at Waverly Park at 10:30 tomorrow morning, and Fort William First Nation will be recognizing the day on Mount McKay at 10:15. We at TBT News will have full coverage of the important day's events on our Monday News Hour at 6. Let's look over now to Donald Trump's return to the White House, which shouldn't have an impact on cross-border issues in the Rainy River District. That's according to MP Marcus Pulowski. Pulowski, who represents the Thunder Bay Rainy River riding, has been working with his Minnesota counterparts on several issues over the past few years. That includes planning and lobbying for a new publicly owned bridge between Fort Frances and International Falls, and addressing the issue of American poachers in Canadian waters along the Rainy River and Lake of the Woods. Trump's election victory has many Canadians worried about future relations between the two countries, but Pulowski doubts the return of Trump will impact the issues he's working on.
I don't think so. I mean, the Trump administration, the United States is so humongous, with what 300 million people. I doubt that the change of leadership is going to change the local politics with respect to financing a bridge or American fisher people coming up onto our side of the border. The flooding issue, I think those are local issues. I don't really foresee that changing.
However, Pulowski says he is concerned about Trump's pledge to raise U.S. tariffs on things like forestry products coming from Canada. Kenora MP Eric Melillo questioned Indigenous Services Minister Patty Hajdu during a recent committee meeting in Ottawa. Milo says that Wapsimoog, Independent Nations, and Grassy Narrows were withdrawing from Treaty 3 police services for a myriad of reasons, primarily related to funding.
One of the major constraints is frankly your government that is overbearing and dictating to the police departments what they can and cannot spend their funding on. Are you moving to address that and ensure that First Nation police services have the freedom to allocate funding as they see fit?
While both First Nations expressed their dissatisfaction with the police service this summer, only Wapsimoog has withdrawn from Treaty 3 police. The OPP took over policing there as of this Thursday. However, Grassy Narrows Chief Sherry Ackaby has confirmed that they're sticking with Treaty 3 police. The federal government splits the responsibility of funding policing in First Nations, according to Haidu. She says the Ontario government has not been fully taking responsibility for its portion.
The province pays a portion of policing, the federal government pays a portion of policing, and we have committed to look at First Nations co-developed policing legislation that would allow for First Nations to take more control over policing in their communities. We need a provincial partner to do that, and I will tell you, with a lot of the co-delivered services, what we're seeing from the province of Ontario is an abdication of their responsibilities to First Nations, where they're asking the federal government to step into spaces where they have the responsibility to serve equitably these communities.
Dougal Media has made an inquiry to the Treaty 3 Police Board, but has not yet received comment. Let's head over to Queen's Park, where Kiiwetinoong MPP Sol Mamakwa spoke this past week about the strain rising taxes to pay for the OPP is having on northern communities. He noted that Pickle Lake has seen a 315% increase in policing costs at $668 per property this year. Mamakwa fears the added financial stress will lead to the collapse of other much-needed resources that are already in crisis. Solicitor General Michael Kersner responded, saying the province will listen to the needs of municipalities without dialing back support for public safety.
Northern municipalities are already facing housing crises, mental health crisis, healthcare crisis, and budgets are tight. They are warning that the result of increased policing costs will be cuts to other services and increases in taxes. Will this government listen to towns and help with the costs of policing so municipalities can keep their services and avoid extra tax increases?
And in the end of the day, Mr. Speaker, people who serve in the OPP also deserve to be paid a fair wage. People, police officers across Ontario deserve to be paid fair wages, and we have here the president of the Ontario Association of Chiefs of Police. We dialogue with organizations all the time. We will listen to our municipalities. We will continue to engage with them. We will be there for them. We will leave no one behind, Mr. Speaker, and we will always prioritize with a laser-focused approach public safety throughout our province.
Let's bring it back to Thunder Bay, where it seems like more and more people are getting tattoos. But what happens if you change your mind? Identity Studio hosted a tattoo redo party this week to give residents the chance to learn more about tattoo removals and cover-ups. The information session gave visitors the chance to check out the state-of-the-art PicoSure Pro laser. It's the only one in the city. Medical Director Robin Stonebridge was there to provide info about the procedure of tattoo removal and the cost of it. Attendees were also able to talk with tattoo artists about creative cover-up options. Stonebridge says since they started providing laser tattoo removal in June, they've had discussions and various removal sessions with around 100 people. She adds that the laser doesn't just remove tattoos.
We can remove permanent makeup, so like microblading or eyebrow tattoos we can remove. And I even will remove radiation treatment tattoos for free.
It feels like an elastic band being snapped on the skin. However, with Robin, because she's a family physician, we have the ability to use medical grade numbing cream. I still felt a little bit, but the general pain is diminished by quite a huge amount.
More information about tattoo laser removal or tattoo cover-ups can be found on Identity Studio's website and social media pages.